Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited you clicked on this video. I've made 2 baked oats videos already, and here we are for a 3rd one. Got a comment saying that they want to see one without a blender, so I automatically had to try it because I'm like, if I can make this even easier, this is game changing. If you want, make sure to subscribe down below to become a member of this channel. So make sure to follow me on all my socials, and honestly, let's get right into it. When making baked oats with a blender, you definitely have to have oat flour. You're gonna do a 1/4 cup of oats and a 1/4 cup of oat flour, and that is going to be your key because you want to have the oats to make it baked oats, but you also want to have the oat flour to make it that cakey consistency that you're looking for. I used instant oats, so I don't know if it would be different if you use whole oats. That is my tidbit for microwaving baked oats without a blender. To start off this amazing baked oats recipe, we're going to be taking a 1/4 cup of oats and a 1/4 cup of oat flour. I used instant oats. I find that works the best. Then a teaspoon of baking powder to help it rise, a tablespoon of maple syrup for some sweetness, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and a 1/4 cup of almond milk. Then you're just going to mix that all together, and it's going to be a little bit on the drier side. You don't want it too runny, and if yours is too runny, just add more oats or oat flour. Then with this being a chocolate chip cookie recipe, obviously you need chocolate chips. I just used vegan chocolate chips, but you can use whatever you like and mix that into your batter. Then we are going to put it in the microwave for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. If you have seen any of my baked oats videos thus far, you will know this is the magic time for the microwave. This recipe is by far one of my favorites, so here are the ingredients you are going to need. If you want to pause the video and go grab these, you definitely should, because let's make it together. Over time, you're totally going to start to notice a pattern within the ingredients of these recipes, but we are starting off with a 1/4 cup of oats, then we're doing a 1/4 cup of oat flour, surprise, surprise. Then we're doing a teaspoon of vanilla extract and a tablespoon of maple syrup. I use pure maple syrup, but you can use whatever. And then we are taking a teaspoon of baking powder and a 1/4 cup of almond milk. I use the unsweetened vanilla. Then we are just going to mix that all together, and again, you do not want it too runny, otherwise it's not going to get that cakey consistency that you're looking for, so make sure it's not too runny. But this would not be blueberry cheesecake oats without blueberries. I added in a handful of blueberries, mixed that all in, and then I ended up taking some vegan cream cheese that I had in my fridge, and I just took about 1 or 2 spoonfuls of it and I put it in the middle of my batter, and then I covered the batter from the outsides on top of the cream cheese, and that is what you get your cream cheese gooey middle for. This sounds really hard to explain, but trust me, this is so good and you have to try it. But let's put it in the microwave for 2 minutes and 30 seconds to get this yummy baked oats recipe. For this double chocolate lava cake baked oats, here are the ingredients if you want to pause now, but we are starting with a 4th cup of oats and a 4th cup of oat flour. This has come as no surprise to any of us now. Then we are adding a teaspoon of baking soda and a tablespoon of maple syrup. You can also use honey, I just always use maple syrup. And here's the key. You're going to do a 1/4 cup of almond milk, but do the dark chocolate almond milk, and then we are going to mix that all together. We are going to add some chocolate chips. I put all them in the center. I feel like it would work better if you used a chocolate square, but I didn't have one, so I just used chocolate chips. And then I covered that, and we are putting it in the microwave for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And when I took it out, I did end up adding some more chocolate chips on top. Here are the ingredients. Now, if you want to pause the video for these coffee cake baked oats, let's get started. So, we are first starting off with a 1/4 cup of oats, as we all know, a 1/4 cup of oat flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, and a tablespoon of pure maple syrup. And then we're going to add a 1/4 cup of cold brew coffee. You can also use hot coffee because we're gonna microwave it anyways. A teaspoon of vanilla and a 1/4 cup of almond milk. If you want a more coffee flavor, I would definitely add more coffee because it doesn't really make it too runny anyways. So if you want more coffee flavor, add more coffee. But I actually forgot to put the topping on before I microwaved it, so don't do this step yet. We're gonna microwave it for 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but do the next step before you do this one. For the topping, I'm just taking a spoonful of coconut flour and then a spoonful of coconut sugar. We're gonna mix that with some vegan butter and coconut oil. Sounds kind of weird, but it's really good and it really imitates that coffee cake topping. Here are the ingredients for this delicious recipe if you want to pause now and go gather these items. But we are starting off by chopping up an apple. I didn't end up actually using the entire apple because it just seems like a lot, so I ended up eating part of it, but you can do the same. Anyways, we are putting that in a bowl so that we can microwave it for, I did 2 or 3 minutes. This helps get the liquid out of the apples, which doesn't make your oats wet. But let's take a 1/4 cup of oats and a 1/4 cup of oat flour. And then we are taking some baking powder, a teaspoon. We know the measurements by now, I think. Then we are taking a teaspoon of vanilla extract and a tablespoon of maple syrup and a teaspoon of cinnamon. Don't forget this because it's really key in apple pie. And then a 1/4 cup of almond milk. Mix that all together, and then you are going to add your apples into the batter. This really makes the apple pie. Once again, I forgot to put the topping on before I microwaved it. So skip this part and do the next step and then microwave it for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. For the topping, we're taking a handful of oats and a handful of slivered almonds and a spoonful of coconut sugar. And then we're going to mix that with some coconut oil to help it really bind together. For the last recipe today, we are taking a 1/4 cup of oats and a 1/4 cup of oat flour. No surprise at this point, you already know. But then we are taking a tablespoon of maple syrup and a teaspoon of baking powder and then some chocolate chips because you can't have a peanut butter cup without chocolate chips. And I also did a 1/4 cup of chocolate almond milk because the more chocolatey, the better. But now we are just mixing this up, and you can either add the peanut butter, just mix it into your batter, but I decided to just drizzle it on the top, and it was such a good decision. But we are going to microwave it for 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Flowers even mad about it. 'cause they can't bloom like you don't. I don't see a way around it, 'cause everything has led me straight to you. It's nothing new. Baby, I'm outside, been thinking about you all night. Been thinking it ain't right if you and me only see us in our dreams. I'm outside, been thinking about you all night. Been thinking it.
Okay guys, that is going to be all for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed seeing these recipes, and if you try any of them, definitely make sure to post on Instagram or TikTok and tag me, because I would love to see you make these recipes. I really hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe if you like my content. Make sure to follow me on all my socials, give this video a like, and go have a good day, because your day is what you make of it. Bye guys.
Drive, you pick the station, sunrise, no destination, no lie, I've been so patient.